6.3% Black women got that letter, that notice saying, I am sorry, the company is going in a different direction. And so many of you are trying to figure out, what do I do with my severance package? What do I do with my unemployment check? Is America still the place for me? And if it's not, where should I relocate to?
I've been in Gambia for the past 5 years, relocated from the United States of America as an entrepreneur who spent 19 years in the US, and I've lived both life, right? I obviously was not born an entrepreneur. I worked a 9-to-5 for years before finally becoming an entrepreneur. And so I know what it feels like to receive that letter, that email, or to be walked out of a building without much notice. I know how inhumane it can feel, how uncaring it can feel, and where sometimes you don't get severance, right? You don't get a notice, you don't get nothing, just a goodbye. And after you've given what it feels like your all to a company, after you have chosen a company over your family, after you have sacrificed attending donuts with mom and spending time with your children in the name of a company, and for that company to let you go for what seems to be no real reason at all, it can feel extremely hurtful. And for what many Black women who felt like having a 9-to-5 was the job security, it can feel like a slap in the face. I get it. I've been there, done that, which is why we decided to relocate, because I realized that nobody owes you anything. I realized that I could build the type of life that I wanted, and it didn't have to be in America. And so the question that people are asking themselves now is the American dream over? Are there other places where they can thrive, where they can grow, where they can build a life? And I'm here to tell you that there are so many places in the world where you can live a life and thrive and grow and be welcome.
I want to talk about 5 countries that will be my vote. This is where I will go if I was trying to escape and leave the United States of America. So there's the physical security, obviously, am I going to get robbed? But I think for Black women, we are also just talking about the freedom of being ourselves. The freedom of not having to code switch, not being asked what we did to our hair, the freedom of just being incredible, right? Being that girl when you walk into the room and not have to justify your presence or diminish your presence. A place where you are celebrated, a place where you are welcome, a place where you are judged by really who you are and not your race, a place where people don't make assumptions about you. To me, that's the security and freedom that so many talk about when they're thinking about relocating. So, the first country I will move to would be Ivory Coast. So Ivory Coast is a beautiful, beautiful country, French speaking. So for my people that are in America, that's one thing, you will have to deal with the language barrier. It's gorgeous and it's modern and the people are a vibe. If you like high vibe, party, vibrant people, then Ivory Coast is an amazing, incredible choice. My cousin moved from Switzerland to Ivory Coast, opened up a business there actually, a med spa, and is doing incredibly well. She now has 2 med spa and opened up a restaurant recently. So Ivory Coast definitely is one place. Another country that I would want you to look into, another French-speaking country, is Dakar. Dakar is beautiful. Dakar is used to doing business with foreigners, and so you will see that it's a bubbly place. It's also vibrant. I find that Dakar is great. You see people running, exercising, the beach is there. I don't know if they still do have a flight from DC to Dakar, but they used to have a flight from DC to Dakar. 5-6 hours you were in DC or New York. So easy access to Europe. So I really like Dakar. And number 3 is Ghana. Obviously, Ghana is a hot spot for everybody. The year of the return has made Ghana a popular location. The people are incredibly nice. Ghana was love at first sight for me when I first visited Ghana, specifically Accra. Really nice, great people, very welcoming people. I mean, when I talk about welcoming, you feel at home right away. I had no issue walking around in my hotel, outside of my hotel, by myself. Accra was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It's a great first introduction to the continent if you've never been. It's really nice. Like, it's a vibe. Cost of living is high. Housing can be expensive, especially if you're looking at Accra, but you don't have to stay in Accra. There's so many other cities and places in Ghana that you can stay at. They are very welcoming to foreigners. The next country that I'll say to check out is the country that has been voted as the cleanest country on the continent right now, and one of the safest, which is Rwanda. So Rwanda, I've not been. My brother lives in Rwanda right now. He says great thing. It's very organized. He says that it's a little bit too organized for his taste. But if you're coming from the US, you might just fit right in. Everything is clean. Everything is organized.
So the final, I saved the best for last. And obviously I'm biased. Drum roll, please. The last final country where I will go to, which is number one on my list, is the Gambia. It's not the place, you might be like, Gambia, Zambia, what's going on? It is not the most popular. It's not Ghana, right? It's not the top destination. It's not the place that ends up on people's vision board, but it should be. Because that's really what we are talking about, is do you feel, what we are talking about here is feeling welcome, not tolerated, and we all know the difference. See, listen, Black women are one of the most educated group of people, and the idea that will be hit the hardest by unemployment is crazy. So what's really going on? I'm here to tell you that there's something about being in a place that is making it louder and clearer by the minute that they don't want you there. But you don't gotta do that. You don't gotta continue to be there. You can leverage what you've learned, your expertise and your experience, and take it somewhere else. So, number 5 on my list is the Gambia. The Gambia has been home to me. Gambia is one of the safest countries I've ever been to. Gambia is a place where I allow my 17-year-old to go out on his own and come home at 2 a.m. and take a taxi by himself if he wants to. It's a place where 3 a.m. I'll take a taxi. And I can't say that for every country in Africa. Let me be clear. Okay, there are places in Africa where I'm not walking by myself. So when I say Gambia is safe, Gambia is safe. Obviously, you have to be mindful of your surroundings and all that good stuff, but Gambia is super safe. It's a place that I want you to look at. It's a place I want you to visit, which is why I'm putting together retreats called Homecoming for women who are wanting to explore what it looks like to come home, not just home to the continent, but home to themselves, right? So details are in the description box. There are many countries on the continent where you can be celebrated, is the word. Welcome, admire even, for the life experience you are bringing with you. And I want to encourage you to look outside of your immediate, and yes, it can be scary to go to a place that's not your home. I understand that. But I think what's scarier, people tell, and I'll wrap up with this, people have told me and my family that we are brave to have left. Yes. And I say to them, no, you are brave to stay. You are brave to continue staying in a place that doesn't want you. You are brave to continue. We left because we're not brave. We left because we saw the writing on the wall and we said, we gotta go. So you are already brave. You are already brave by being where you are and staying where you are. And I just want you to know that I believe in you. I believe that you can make decisions. You can move. You are not a tree. And you can absolutely move and conquer any place that you choose to be at. All right, guys. So if you like these type of videos, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.